Good morning, everyone. His Excellency, Mr. Akazawa, the State Minister for the Cabinet Office of the Governor of Japan, His Excellency, Mr. Ido, the Governor of the Hyogo Prefecture, distinguished representatives of the government, dear speakers, colleagues, participants, very warm welcome to the 2015 IRP Forum this morning and throughout today with the message and the main theme on sending a message of building back better from Hyogo, Japan. 2015 is a very important year for all of us for a variety of reasons, some of which I would like to go over briefly this morning. First and foremost, at the occasion of the 20th anniversary of the great Hanji-Navaji earthquake, it is a time to remember, reflect and honor all of those that were affected by this event and have contributed over the last 20 years to the recovery of Kobe and the regions affected by this earthquake. It is also a very important year as we have just passed the 10th anniversary of the Indian Ocean tsunami. We've passed, just a few days ago, the 5th anniversary of the earthquake in Haiti. And soon we'll be marking the 4th anniversary of the Great Eastern Japan earthquake. As we assembled here today, Mozambique is facing its third major flood in about 5 years. We've not forgotten the floods in 2011 in Southeast Asia, nor the super cyclone in the Philippines last year. I think you all get the idea. We have many, many mega disasters year in, year out. And these are just the large ones. These are the ones that make global news. As we know, natural hazards occur every day somewhere around the globe, and they affect households, communities, villages, or larger regions that don't make the news, but that are not less impactful for the communities or the people affected. Recovery from these events, therefore, large or small, take place all over the world, all the time. In the past 10 years of the existence of the International Recovery Platform, hosted here in Kobe, and generally supported over the past 10 years by the Hyogo Prefecture and the Cabinet Office of Japan primarily, we've learned a tremendous amount on how we can prepare for recovery processes and how we can ensure that recovery is truly used as an opportunity to build back better. It is time to recovery is the time to address underlying risk factors, rebuild infrastructure large and small, and most importantly, rebuild lives and livelihoods. Today, we will hear from an impressive group of speakers in 4 main sessions, including on recovery frameworks, on the economic impact of disasters and recovery itself. We'll have a panel on specific actions of recovery, and we conclude today with messages from the Tohoku region. I am sure we'll all have an excellent day ahead of us where we'll learn and exchange our experiences. Let me also say a few words about the Sendai conference that will take place in a couple of months from now. As we assembled here today this morning, I did check actually a couple of hours ago with my colleagues in Geneva. They were still at the negotiating table. I'm not sure whether they have broken for the night right now or not, but 2 hours ago they were still working on the text for the Hyogo Framework for Action Follow-on Agreement, or as we refer to, the HFA2. We expect, of course, that this framework will be adopted in Sendai, and we can by now be sure and proud about the fact that recovery will be integrated in the follow-on agreement and therefore be part of how, as a disaster community or larger development community, will address recovery. This has been an effort of many partners, but I do believe it is fair to say that all of us that work under the umbrella of the IRP, the International Recovery Platform, had something to do with this. Not least also at the forum that took place here in Kobe last year, where we specifically looked at this issue. In addition, of course, to all these global processes, we have also, I can mention this as in my capacity as the chair of the IRP, concluded our recent steering committee meeting yesterday, and we're planning ahead to take the IRP with its partners to the next level of the next 10 years as well. It is an important instrument to support countries in developing their recovery capacities and also be able to take advantage of these recovery efforts. As we go to 2015, we're also looking ahead to a number of other international events that we should aim at influencing and supporting. In parallel to the current discussions on HFA2, the Open Working Group is working on the SDGs. We expect the Open Working Group to finalize the SDG framework by May with a view of an adoption of the new development framework in 2016. We can be proud that our efforts in working with member states on the SDGs now will integrate disaster risk in development objectives. You all know that previous development frameworks were rather disaster blind or risk blind. We're also looking ahead at the Financing for Development conference in Addis, which is important in terms of how we actually do finance issues of climate, issues of disaster risk, issues of preparedness, issues of recovery. And last but not least, we have the Kyoto follow-on agreement discussions ongoing in view of an agreement hopefully to be reached in Paris at the end of this year. I do not have to stress that about 80% of disasters are related to the climate, and what the climate or changing climate would probably do in terms of frequency and severity of future natural hazards. While we have been able to reduce in the past the impact of natural hazards on the loss of lives, there's less people that die, less people that are injured in disasters. Economic losses have been rising steadily, and this is largely driven by unchecked development or by risk-blind development. We continue to put our assets, physical and human, into harm's way. Not in Japan, I think we have all seen how to do it, like in the example from Japan, but unfortunately in many countries, this development still is not risk-informed, and therefore, of course, recovery becomes a necessity, but also then again an opportunity to build back better. In short, if development is not risk-informed, it is simply not sustainable. I think we should keep that in mind as we're talking throughout today about the experiences on how to take advantage of the recovery process today. And with these few words, I wish you a wonderful day ahead. I would like to thank you for joining us this morning, and I look forward to working all of you throughout this important year to ensure that recovery is placed at the top of the agenda as it should be. Thank you very much.